Interesting. Here we go. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. All right, what's going on, guys? We are back live. And I literally was helping my brother, picking him up and dropping him off to his car, and I got this little inspiration that I want to share with you. It's called Dying Words. So, hi guys, my name is Donnie Rouse, and you are listening to the podcast, One Life. Dying Words. How do you want to be remembered? Said differently, when people think back on how you lived life, what do you want to be remembered by? How do you want them to describe the way you lived? I asked myself that very question years ago. I don't even remember the exact time I asked, but one of the things that I said to myself was, I want people to say, he lived his life. He lived his life to the max. He did what made him happy. He did what brought him joy. He lived with passion. I also want my life to be an inspiration to other people, to go after their dreams, to do the thing that they love, and to not hold back. And I'm not saying that my life is perfect in any way and that there aren't places where I hold myself back, because to be honest with you, there are some areas where I need to grow. It's natural, right? Growth is a process of life. But what I want you to walk away with from this is the idea that we get to decide how we want to be remembered, what we want to live by. I was talking to one of my friends, Ryan, and his parents were kind of interjecting on his life, saying, well, how he should be living it, not to kind of, in a way, I'm paraphrasing, but not to dream too big or go after too many things, because, it's okay to be happy with what you have and what God's given you. Just trust me where I'm going with this. Anyways, he sent me this video by Mel Robbins, and she basically said, what are you waiting for? You can get hit by a bus tomorrow. Do the thing you want to do. Go after the life that you're dreaming of. Build it brick by brick, realizing that it literally is going to be built brick by brick. After I watched this Instagram reel, my car was off, so I turned on my car because my brother was coming out of the car rental place, and all of a sudden on my radio, the song "I Lived" played. It's by One Republic. I lived, I did. Yes, I did it all. I owned every second that this life can give. I don't even butchering the words now because I'm like on camera. But it made me, that was actually the song, that was the catalyst. When I thought about what I wanted to personify in my life, how I want to live, that song was the personification of it. And so after the morning and the conversations I had and the reel I watched, this was kind of just the reaffirming everything that I want my life to be and what I want to give to the people around me. So what is it? How do you want to be remembered? Like when people say, John Doe, wow, you know what? He lived this way. How do you want them to remember you? What kind of impact do you want to have on them? Do you want them to say, well, he was a great family member, but he took care of his family, which is great. But what more is there, right? Because life is not like one single dimension. There's there's aspects of your life, right? There's a bunch of different categories of your life, or life structures, if you want to call it. Right? And while we may excel at certain ones, there are others that we have to take into consideration, right? Because life is not just, we aren't living lives that are just kind of like a mono track, on a monorail, where we're just going in one direction. It's multifaceted. Right? They're complex. There's a lot. We're complex individuals. So, of course, our life is complex and in a simplistic way. And what I mean by that is just understanding, well, what do I want in every area of my life? What is it that I want to go after? How do I want to be remembered? What do I want people to say when they think about Donnie Rouse and his health, Donnie Rouse and his relationships, Donnie Rouse and his passionate living. Donnie Rouse and his career. How do I want to be remembered? It's in a way, you're creating a vision, but a small tweak in the words can make a huge difference. This is probably going to be a different podcast, but I was watching this course by Mike Beckworth. I believe that's his name. And he says, it's kind of like the law of attraction, right? You think like, well, law of attraction, where focus goes, energy flows. But he used a different word that really captivated me. He says, where do you put your interest? And I never heard it described in that way. I'm like, my interest, like, what are you interested in? I'm like, well, in any moment, when you're focusing, you can realize, well, all right, if you're feeling shitty, like, what is it that you're interested in? Like, where are you putting your interest? It's normally what can go wrong or something. But when you think about, well, what are you interested in? Where do you want to put your interest? You'd be like, all right, well, I want to put my interest in feeling great. I want to feel, like I'm going to use my physical body because I'm getting ready to do another competition in 5 months. I want to feel strong. I want to have a ton of energy. I want to be ripped. I want to feel sexy. I want to, I want to feel strong. I want to feel like a mass, like I'm unshakable, unmovable. Not because I want to be heavy, but I want to just be this solid structure. Right? That is what I'm interested in. But when you think like, well, what is the ultimate vision for this area of my life? I'm like, ultimate vision. God, I don't even know what the hell my ultimate vision. It was hard for me to come up with the terminology, the words to describe it. When I said, well, what am I interested in? Then all of a sudden it became easy. So let's rewind. So I talked about a couple of things here. We talked about one, what is it that you want to be remembered by? How do you want to live your life? How do you want people to remember the way you lived? And then secondly, where your interest goes. Where your interest goes, energy flows, right? It's kind of where your focus goes. Interest is just another word for using your focus. I like to also use the word your gaze. Like, what are you looking at? Are you, when you're looking at the car crash, that is what you're focused on rather than the road in front of you. You kind of, but hypothetically, you're going to get the car crash if you don't keep your eye on the road. Where are you putting your gaze? What is your interest? And go there. I have an assignment for you. Rather than doing the questions how I normally do, I want to just give you an assignment. Set an alarm on your phone 3 times today, whenever you're listening to this. And I want you to just put it, this parenthesis. If you have an iPhone, you could take an alarm and you could put the description of alarm, say, what am I interested in? And when you say, what am I interested in? I want you to just, the only thing you want to, where is my focus? What am I focusing on? What have I been interested in? And the biggest indicator of what we're interested in is our emotions. What are you feeling in that moment? Where do you want to put your interest? And what will that let you or allow you to feel? Couple things we just covered, but they are interrelated. So I hope you enjoyed this post. I hope it brought some awareness as to how you want to live your life, how you want to be remembered. But also to be conscious of where you're putting your energy. Because you want to put it in the direction you're going, because where you're focusing, where your interest is what you're going to get. Your emotions will guide you where your interest is and help you realign to where it is you want to go. That is all I've got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this post. If you did, please consider giving it a share, giving it a thumbs up, depending on what platform, a review. And if you have any questions, you could reach out to me via email by visiting my website, www.donnyrouse.com, DONNYRAUS.com. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this, in some small way, helped you think differently about your life and how you go about your day. Because you only get one life. Live it. God bless, and I will see you again soon.